wait, where's she going? Oh my God, I gotta catch up. But what I promised with the end in mind, you all will have an opportunity to walk out with a personalized tool. Okay? I have some gifts for you right here. So at the end, you're going to be able to walk away with the tool, a tool, to help measure where you show up on teams in emotional intelligence. But even better, because it's not judging, you can increase your skills of emotional intelligence. And so this personalized assessment will help you be better and show up on teams. A little bit about me. You already did the intro. In the little bio too, another fun fact, and I will be, Matt, I'm just going to do it right now. Who was raised by their father? Anybody raised by their father?
Father only?
Yeah, like primarily their father was the primary caregiver. 2 hands. Okay.
For me.
All right, I want to give this book away. I was raised by my father, starting at 5 years old. My father received custody of me and my brother, 1970. 1970. What did your mother do? Yeah. So my father and I wrote a memoir, because we have to put that in the book. Put that in the book. My father is the best leader that I know. So, you were raised by your father, and you would like this to read this book, please raise your hand again. One.
Well, I wasn't raised by my father, but I am exactly like my father. So.
Okay. If you would like to raise your hand, and if you would like this book. 1, 2. Okay. I have a number between 1 and 100.
60. 72. 3. 43. 5.
43 is the closest. That's 30. There you go. All right. So, it's free on Kindle. Just saying. This is not the book show. But I want to start with that because once you recognize it, but when I think of the best team that I've ever been on, I think of the team that my father led. Okay? Me, my brother, and him. Not the 3 Musketeers. That's the best team I've ever been on. So, as a warm-up, I want you, because this is all about team dynamics, I want you to trust me and close your eyes. Close your eyes. Imagine the best team that you have ever been on. It could be a work team, a project team, a church team, a community, Girl Scouts, Boys, family. When I said, my best team is my dad, my brother and I, what's your best team that you've ever been on? How did the teammates treat each other? What did the leader do and not do? And how did you feel when you were on that team? How did you deal with conflict? All right, open your eyes. I want you to meet a new friend. Okay? So if you're sitting next to someone you know, then you go reach over someone else, all right? Say hi. Thank you for being here. And exchange best team stories. Okay? Giving you 2 minutes, 1 minute each. Ready? 2 minutes. It's fast, dogs.
Okay, 30 more seconds.
All right, let's wrap it up. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. This is how you get HR people's attention. Mark before us, he said in this room he was a English teacher before he got into this work. So I'm like, oh, wait, I'm going to bring out my bell. What I want you to notice is how you feel right now. How do you feel when you were talking about to someone else the best team you've ever been on? Give me some feedback.
Joyful.
Joyful. Excited. What else?
Grateful.
Grateful. Nostalgic. What else? Relaxed. Okay. Anyone feel, I don't want to tell my story? No, like you want to shout, right? Maybe a little proud. Proud on how you showed up on that team. Okay, well, that's what we're talking about. How can we recreate the possibility of you being on another great team? Here are our objectives, right? Understand your natural approach on a team. How do you normally show up? I already told you, I gave you a little hint. My natural style is being self-confident, dynamic, and outgoing. Wendy's like, oh yeah, Wendy used to work with me. She's like, or with me, yeah. Oh yeah, that's Lisa. But that doesn't mean that those behaviors are the best behaviors to use in every work situation, right? Because I can be a little overpowering. I married my opposite, and we've been married, thank God, for 33 years. But it's because of, well, the priest told us we shouldn't get married because we were so opposite after we took a personality assessment. So let's bring, are you all want to join us?
I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize. Please, come on in. Someone have an open seat. Go ahead and raise your hand and say, come on in, new friend. Come in, new friend. Yes.
Blessings to all of you guys.
Yeah. Come on in, new friend. Yeah, so understanding that the person that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with is exactly the opposite of me. And our Episcopal priest said, I don't think the two of you should get married. What? But what happens when you do that? We have a common enemy now. We're going to prove. So that priest no longer is with us on the world. And my husband and I are here together because we understood and honored each other's differences, and we didn't try to make each other the same. That's emotional intelligence. Okay? Emotional intelligence is something, it's a skill that you can increase. And so that's what we're talking about today. And again, I promised you, you're going to take away and have a process tool that will help identify what are your most comfortable mindsets. And you all are going to practice at least 2 scenarios where you're going to need to stretch beyond your comfort zone and identify some other mindsets that might be best in a given situation. Okay? And I have 3 simple steps today. Number 1, you're going to discover your style and your strengths. And I have a microphone, so this is why I keep going back and forth. I don't know, can you all hear me though? Yes. Okay. So I'm like, I'm outgoing and expressive. So you're going to discover your own styles and thoughts. Recognize the value of other approaches in your work situations, and stretch for the best response needed. Also, yes, you can take notes, but this PowerPoint and a handout, I have a handout as well, is or will be available on Whova. Okay, so I already uploaded all of this for y'all. So first, discover your own approach. So one of the assessments that I am certified in is Everything DISC by John P. Wiley. Who here knows what I mean by when I say DISC? Okay. Has anyone taken an assessment of DISC? Okay. Well, good. About a third of the room. All right. Well, instead of taking an assessment, I'm just gonna ask you 3 simple questions. Okay. So you think in your mind. Number 1 question: are you fast-paced and outspoken, or more cautious and reflective? Okay? And some people say, Lisa, is this at work or at home? My organization says, let's just be human. Let's just be human. So you as a human being, are you more fast-paced and outspoken, or cautious and reflective? Wendy, which one am I? Okay, anybody? Which one am I? The top one. Yes, yes. All right, question number 2. Actually, there's only 2 questions to answer. Are you more questioning and skeptical, or accepting and warm? Okay, it might be a little tough. Yeah. Questioning and skeptical, and accepting and warm. All right. Without taking a 25-minute assessment, you all have answered for today what your DISC style is. So, does this have a pointer too? Yes. See, I get excited for that. All right. If you answered fast-paced and outspoken and questioning and skeptical, that's called the dominance style, or the D. Okay, so remember D. If you're fast-paced and outspoken and accepting and warm, that's the influence style, or the I. Steadiness, cautious and reflective and accepting and warm is the S. And conscientiousness, cautious and reflective and questioning and skeptical. It's the C. Okay. So, I also want to say right here, my consultant hat comes on and says, let me just tell you that all styles are valuable. And actually, we are all a blend of all 4. Because wouldn't it be wonderful if we were just, in the human being species, we were just one of 4 personality types, and that was it? Like, we'd be able to understand each other like that, right? Yeah, that's not true. So, I want to say, I'm not trying to put you into one of 4 quadrants, because that's impossible. We're all unique human beings. But for right now today, we're just going to say the D, the I, the S, and the C. Okay? We have 2 new friends in the back. Anyone have a seat spared? We'd love to have you guys come back. We have a couple of seats right here, y'all. Yeah, let's include you. Thank you. So I'm going to pass out, actually I'm going to start over here. I want you to take the sticker, they're going to pass it this way. Take the sticker that you just identified. Are you the I, the D, the C, or the S? And if you've taken the assessment before, go ahead and, if you know that you're a blend of two, go ahead and take whatever stickers you believe is best. Okay. And if you would like, go ahead and put it on your name badge. I'm an ID. Okay. So I'm an influencer and dominance. I'm a blend of both. And what that looks like on my team and how I show up at work, is I love being with people. I get energy from being with people. But I need a reason. Like, I need a result. So, yes, I love being with people, but what's the why? What are we going to accomplish together? All right, time to stretch a little bit. And again, all styles are valuable, and the best teams have a blend of all styles. So, let's see what our team here is composed of. Let's have the dominants, the Ds, stand up. Be proud. Yes. Yes. All right. Here's the Ds. Thank you. All right. Take a seat down. What about those Is? Woohoo! Yay! All right. Thank you, Is. All right. Our steadiness, the S style. All right. Welcome. Thank you. Yes. And our conscientiousness style, the C style. Oh, thank you. That's my husband's style. I appreciate you all, because my husband calms me down, so we're not bankrupt right now after 33 years of marriage. What does this mean? Okay. What this means is, now I want you to concentrate. Okay, I'm an ID style. Discover your priorities, okay? As an I style, my priorities are the three words that are closest to my style. So my priorities are for action, enthusiasm, and collaboration. Okay? So the other I's in this room, think about that. That on teams, you're looking for the priorities of you need some action. You're going to be on the team saying, we can do it, right? And you're looking to be part of something. The Ds are looking for a challenge, hate to be bored. They want results, so they drive for results. And they share the priority of action with the I style. The S style, they share collaboration with the Is, and they also are support. Looking for a supportive, engaging team environment and stability. And then our conscientiousness style shares stability with the S and accuracy and shares challenge with the D style. So I have a handout for everyone. And what I would like you to do, I don't know which way to do this, is take one and pass it down. And if you have the app and you want to not touch paper and you want to look at your app, supposedly it's in there, but I don't know that technology. They promised me it'd be uploaded. So you're going to see the disk model at the top of the page. And I want you to take your pen and circle the D, the I, the S, or the C on that piece of paper. And if you need a pen, there's extra pens here, also in your blue bag. If you have extras on this side, the back of the room needs more. Here we go. Thank you for helping. So what I'm looking for you to do is to take the handout. You have 2 more? Anyone else have extras?
There's whole rows that don't have yet.
I think we got your notes.
Oh, I did do supplies. What else did I say here? Handout, dot stickers. All right. Well, I printed 75 pages. Now I'm curious, y'all. Is there more than 50? I'm sorry. Okay, well, we can adjust, be agile, emotional intelligence, be agile. If you do not have the handout, if you're sitting next to someone who has a handout, can you please pass it to the back so at least you're in pairs? Because I will be doing an exercise that you all be in pairs. Okay, so if you can share with someone else. Thank you. So to discover your priorities, I want you to if you don't have the handout, write it on a piece of paper, that you're a D style, and then write the 3 words. Okay. Write the 3 words. Where's the pointer? There, sorry y'all. That are closest to your style. So your priorities of challenge, result, and action. And this helps you identify how you naturally show up on a team. What are your priorities? Now, just because that is your normal priorities, okay, that's what comes natural to you, where emotional intelligence comes into being is that when you learn to stretch, that there's someone else on your team that you might be really frustrated with, right? You know, like, I don't know why they don't see the world the way I see the world. Like, stop and pause, take a deep breath, and go, are they fast-paced and outspoken or cautious and reflective? Like, and people read them a little bit and go, oh, my husband, and I did not put these dots here, but I'm like, my husband's right here. And his priority is about accuracy, stability, and support. So how can I stretch to respond to the needs of the other person on my team? Okay. How can I do that? Just to recognize today as you're sitting here, that's an aha. Everyone doesn't come with the same point of view that I do. And if I just take a pause and try to see the world from their point of view, take a breath, and then I can stretch to meet their needs. So our next step in teaming is a behavioral process, is the recognizing the value of other approaches. Okay, so talked about my husband, now I'm going to talk about someone on my team currently. There's 6 of us, we're a consulting company, and Kim Jones runs my company, our company, on a day-to-day basis. Kim Jones, she's a C. She looks for accuracy, challenge, and stability. I married my opposite in business too. I know how to make a great team, right? And to pause there, I used to be a CFO. So I'm a recovering CFO. Okay? And I used to feel like I had to be all of this. Anybody else feel that too? It's like on a team, they're looking for me to be action-oriented and accurate and look for a challenge, but I better collaborate. It was exhausting trying to be everything that everybody wanted me and needed me to be. So I found a secret. Again, the priest helped me. Go find a partner who honors your differences and you honor theirs. So that's what I've done in business too. So in team pairing, go look for your opposite and use communication and emotional intelligence so that you don't get so frustrated with them and you actually honor their differences and say, thank you. Thank you, Kim Jones, for doing all the financial analysis, because I don't have to do that anymore. Just give me a nice, shiny graph about where we've been and where we're going. Thank you. So, but responding to her needs, knowing this, I could be a lot. Okay, so our 9 o'clock morning huddle, I don't go, hi Kim, how you doing? I've had a lot of coffee, what about you? She's like, oh my God, I have 4 kids at home, Lisa, what are you doing? Okay, I'm a little too much for her. So I just take a deep breath, good morning Kim, how are you? What's on your list today? Is there anything that you need from me so that you can do your best job today? I just slow it down a little bit, and it's okay. I'm stretching and understanding, meeting her needs so that she feels supported. And that's stretch, so I just jumped to stretch. But recognizing other approaches to situations. All right, pause here. Why, this is a question to y'all, why is now more than ever understanding team dynamics so important? What shifting norms has been happening in the world that teaming and team dynamics is so important now than ever before? And just go ahead and speak up.
Generational changes?
Generational changes. More generations in the workplace.
More C, yeah.
Yes. Generations. What else?
Culture.
Culture, remote working,
Going back to the office.
going back into the office. What else?
Politics,
Politics,
environment,
alignment.
and environment.
Oh, the environment. Yes. Can I have a couple of two? We're changing directions faster than ever before. Y'all, I started in the workplace. This is a group of HR people that I'm like my people, so I'm going to tell you something open and honest. I started in the workplace before the fax machine. Okay, I was a receptionist. The United States postal worker came in, gave me mail. I got to rip it open with, and put it in cubbies. The phone would ring. I'd take, carbon copy messages. Anyone experience that? Yeah. I'm like, I remember when. Right? And now it's juggle this and this and this and this. Shared power. When I started in the workplace, it was do what your boss told you to do and be quiet. Don't bring your personal life to work. Show up, 8 o'clock, clock in. I literally clocked in and clocked out too. You got your 10 minutes. You don't stand at the punch, waiting, click, 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 clonk. Right? Multiple teams. Here's one project. Oh, but you're on another team and another project. And so, we have to be adjusting so much more. And we have to show empathy. Like, can you just do what I tell you to do and shut up? Like, that's my first automatic response. It's like, and then we get pushback now. What do you mean pushback? The Great Resignation? Oh, the Great Reevaluation? Really? Do I really have to hear about this? No. Yes, the answer is yes. And that is our human experience. That is actually a more genuine human organization than the shut up, do what I tell you to do. If you don't like it, well, tough. Right? And I am so glad that we are where we are today. Because here's another thing I'm saying in my communication to the HR professional. Anyone remember Y2K? All right, Y2K. Someone describe to others if they don't know what Y2K is. Say that again?
We thought the world was going to end
Thought the world was going to end. Why?
because of the computer and not knowing that if it could read 2000.
Okay, yeah. So what was going to happen? It was like 1998, 97, 98, and everything was going to crash because the computers, calendars, dates weren't set to accept the year 2000. So the whole world was going to stop, right?
Yeah.
So we had a world crisis, right? What happened on 1/1/2000? Nothing! Okay. But what really happened was there a new profession. A new profession evolved. What new profession?
Programming?
Programming.
Yeah.
Information technology. The IT profession came out of this crisis, and now they're sitting at the executive table making more money than the people operations professional, right? Because we're just payroll and parties. Okay, I mean, I did that too, and I did hire a stripper once. I was in the 80s, I didn't know what I was doing, but yeah, my boss said, and we need a stripper at the company party. I'm like, okay. Okay. This is what I want to tell you all. Right now, it's our time. The pandemic is our Y2K. And it really was and is a crisis. We've been through a lot. So as a profession, it's your choice right now as a professional. Are you going to lean in and take advantage of the crisis and make sure that that light still shines on you? Or are you going to step back a little bit and go, thank God I'm exhausted, which is okay too. But I just want to go back to payroll and parties. And you can do that, but if there's a couple of us in the room that can really pick up that baton and say, we are people operations, not operators, or human resource professionals, and we make a difference. And that's why I say I'm a recovering CFO. Because I always had HR, under my influence in my departments. But I rebranded myself in 2014. And I actually became a member of Austin SHRM, or ARMA, before I had a rental agreement when I came into town. Because I knew if you get the people operations right, you'll see it in the numbers. You'll see it in the numbers. So this is why the shifting norms right now, team dynamics, you got to get it right. People need to feel like they're part of something. Because agility is the key. And for those of you who are in Mark's class, there was a couple of you in Mark's class who talked about agility, right? And systems and processes plus the people. You need both right now. You need both. And that's where emotional intelligence comes in. So here's my definitions here. Being an agile organization starts with developing your people's emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to adapt behaviors, thoughts, and emotions to best meet the demands of a variety of interpersonal and emotionally charged situations. So when you add DISC plus emotional intelligence, or EQ, together you get agile EQ, the ability to adjust social and emotional situations quickly and easily. So to recognize that there are other mindsets than the ones that come to you naturally. I said, being self-assured, dynamic, and outgoing, that comes to me naturally, as I think it. So, putting these two together, hang on, I made this, put these, oh wait. So my priorities, I'm just talking about me, if you're an ID, my priorities are results, action, enthusiasm. So when my natural response to work situations or any situation is to come in self-assured, dynamic, and outgoing. But those mindsets might not be the best for that situation. So I need to stretch to respond to the needs of a situation. Stretching to become more receptive. So who here were the S style? Can you raise your hand again? Okay, so for what that means on the opposite is for the S style, the three mindsets that are closest to you, how you usually show up on a team, is that you show up in your situations with empathizing, being receptive, and composed. But perhaps some work situations, you being composed isn't the best solution to the situation, and you need to stretch to be dynamic. Okay? Or resolute. No, I had to be resolute's a stretch for me. And one of my experiences, so I've been in HR for 30 years. I've helped 8 entrepreneurial companies grow. So one of my entrepreneurial companies, it was day 3 in Yawley. And the payroll manager, I asked them, so you just ran payroll, but how do the people get their money into their 401k, mutual funds? That was a simple question. She starts crying. Well, it's better than before you got here, but it takes 120 days to deposit the employee's money into their mutual funds. Is that a reasonable amount of time for the IRS code? Am I saying signing the 5,500? Heck no. Wait, what? It takes 3 months for them to take the dollar that was just taken out of your paycheck to actually put into your mutual fund account. That's a violation, if anyone doesn't know. So what am I going to do with that information? Well, I wanted to run away. But I had to I figured out a plan and how to communicate it to the CEO. Because maybe the CEO doesn't know that he can go to jail, and that if this is what he's expecting me to do, here's my resignation letter. So I had to stretch. And it was before I knew this, that it was with purpose. But am I going to go being outgoing, dynamic, and self-assured and say, hey, guess what I found? Oh my God, you're in violation and you're going to jail, so let's go. No. I had to be a little more calm and composed for him to really take me seriously. He's also a style of a DC, okay? So self-assured, resolute, and objective. That's his natural style. So I stretched to a place that he could really hear me. And the good news is he heard me, and we were able to rectify, and we self-reported to the IRS. And I stayed in that job for a year and a half for the employees. Anyway, so that's an example of how I personally needed to stretch from my normal mindset so that I can be heard on a team. So, mindsets in action. I'm going to have you practice now responding to a situation. Okay. I want you to think how your needs, so my need of being outgoing, self-assured, has shaped your choices in your life. And then how has that benefited you? How has that benefited you? So my example is because I'm pretty self-assured, I'm a risk taker. And sometimes I've fallen really hard. Okay. But I have built 2 entrepreneurial companies now in my life. And I'm very proud of that. So that's an example of mine. Does anyone want to share their story? Go back to the...
I just want to say I'll share.
Yeah, thank you.
So based on the model, my style is C, which
Okay.
is more cautious and reflective and questionable and skeptical.
Yes.
But to your point of stretching, I stretched myself and I took a risk and I moved across states. I moved from Maryland, I've done that, and I moved to Texas.
Okay.
And that was a huge challenge for me and a huge push for me. And so just, that was me stretching to myself.
Yes.
On myself that I could step out of my comfort zone.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. And how do you feel now about what
I
you've
feel
done?
great. I feel like it was a great decision. I feel proud.
Proud.
Because you can't, you don't know what you're going to get what's on the other side of the fear.
Yeah.
And so it worked out and I'm grateful for that.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that experience. Anyone else? Yes, please.
So I was a stay-at-home mom for many years,
Uh-huh.
and I love to dance.
Okay.
And so I said, I waited too long to learn. So I'm going to just join a team. So I joined the dance team. wonderful group of people, had so much fun. I still, we meet regularly, we have laughs, like intergenerational
Okay.
people, and I got my present job because of the contact.
Wow. So I'm going to repeat that for everyone to hear, plus this is being recorded too. But what she said was she was a stay-at-home mom and wanted to stretch out. She always loved to dance. So you joined a dance group, learned how to dance, and from that stretch, she's currently employed with someone that you met there. Yeah, we talked about that this morning too. Who's your community and stretching your community? A little outside your comfort zone. Thank you. Thank you both for sharing very much. All right, stretching beyond your best response. We're going to do this together. So this is on the handout as well if you want to share with your partner. So the D style, you're good at influencing others and taking actions on new ideas. So that is, if you need to be dynamic in a situation, it might be your natural style to be self-assured, but perhaps you're more of an S style that you would need to stretch to be dynamic regarding a situation at work. Outgoing, building up relationships and expressing your unfiltered thoughts. Outgoing, or empathizing, understanding others, and reaching out to be supportive. I'm going to pause there because Forbes magazine, September of 2021, they said the number one leadership skill that needs to be grown is empathy. Huh? Being receptive, keeping an open mind and considering others' perspectives. Being composed, appearing calm and diplomatic. Objective, thinking rationally and clearly. Resolute, resisting the pressure to cave in. And being self-assured, projected confidence, and taking charge. So here what I'm trying to express to you all is being agile, which companies need right now. Know who you are naturally and be prepared to learn how to stretch beyond your comfort zone so that the other team members can go on the ride with you. Okay? So we're going to practice that together, right? Yes. What mindset is most helpful in this situation? Okay, so I'm thinking mindset is of these three, which I just said out loud what the definitions are, and they're in your handout as well. Which mindset is most helpful in this situation? Your team is discussing a new process. Most lean to a decision for which you strongly disagree. You voice objections, but others aren't convinced. Their lack of common sense is irritating. All right, to yourself, what mindset might be most helpful in this work situation? So come back over. So we heard receptive, right? So you keeping an open mind and considering other perspectives. Okay, that's a good one. Anything else? Yes. Composed. What is why composed?
Because even though you disagree on the outside, you're projecting that you're not upset or angry.
Okay, that's a good one too.
Dynamic.
Dynamic. Why dynamic?
Because you've got a room full of different people and you need to influence all of them and to take them into idea.
Okay, all right. Objective. Someone picked objective. Why objective?
To explain why you think they're not being commonsensical.
Yeah. Great. Guess what? You all are right. Because it depends on the team. You know, I didn't give you, your team is discussing a new process. Well, who's your team? This is navigating team dynamics, reading the room, taking a breath when you're feeling your emotions are getting hot. All right? So what mindset would be best in this situation? All right, we're going to try again together. You've been in your job for 9 years with unique insights into how to increase efficiencies and shared these with your incredibly busy boss. They say they're great ideas, but nothing ever comes of it.
That's where I would think dynamic.
Okay, so we have dynamic. Who says dynamic? All right, why dynamic?
And that's one I actually sometimes have to push out a little bit.
Okay,
And
stretch beyond your
sometimes
comfort
raise.
zone. Uh-huh.
But it's more speaking up
Mm-hmm.
and making sure your voice is heard. And with HR, a lot of us, sometimes we get used to our voice not being heard. So
Yeah.
you have to make sure that you're being dynamic about it.
Dynamic
And
about
not
it.
just laying an idea out there. Market it,
Right.
champion it.
And so I heard that that would be a stretch for you.
Sometimes it is,
Okay.
sometimes it's not.
Mhm.
Sometimes I have to rein it.
And you're saying dynamic as well.
Yes.
Okay. Another mindset.
Objective.
We have objective and outgoing. Okay, objective. Why objective?
So that you can, think rationally and put your idea across objectively and show them what's the good benefits of your approach. Kind of persuade them.
And someone said outgoing on this side as well? Yes. Why outgoing?
Okay, you need to build a relationship with your boss, right? So you can build that trust, so they can value the 9 years of experience, the insight that you have,
Yeah.
and to, be influenced to move that direction.
Good.
Self-assured.
Self-assured. Why self-assured? Projecting confidence and taking charge.
Because when I do it and ask for forgiveness later, I better know what I'm talking about.
Because
In charge, I didn't get in trouble for it.
yeah, to ask for permission or forgiveness afterwards. Sometimes that just needs to be the strategy. Especially if you have 9 years of experience and you're a very busy boss, it is not doing anything about it. All right. Well, you all have practiced very well together. Now I'm going to have you get with your new friend that you met this morning, or there was a group of people. In your handout, you have 8 scenarios. Okay? Just pick a number and read that scenario. Just pick one scenario that you all choose and read it and then decide which mindset would be best. And let me give you a tip. Well, no. You do that exercise first. I'll give you 2 minutes. I think we need a secret. No. Find a partner and share.
All right, one more minute. One more minute. Okay. Who wants to share? We have 6 more minutes, so we might have a couple of rounds of these, all right? So, which team wants to share? You'd say what the scenario was and then what mindset or mindsets you might try. Oh, come on, HR people, why are you?
Well, we looked at scenario 7.
Scenario 7, go ahead and read that out loud for me.
Oh, man, you didn't say that.
I'm sorry. You need to stretch? Who else had number 7 as well?
We did.
Okay, a couple more people. All right, so what was your strategy? Read that out, please.
Your manager is handing out assignments in a meeting and comes to one of the dreaded tasks that no one likes. You've taken it on in the past to help out, so your manager just assumes you'll be a good sport and do it again. You think it's time for someone else to take a turn.
Okay.
We came up with resolute.
Resolute, so number 7, resolute, and why resolute?
Because that's the decision you're making.
Okay.
And it's, with me, I struggle with resolute.
Okay.
And it's learning, resisting pressure to cave in. Because I would be more than the person, the way I roll is, yeah, just give it to me.
Okay.
So I would-
Yeah, just give it to me.
Would need to be
Both of you.
resolute.
Okay. Those who also had number 7, did you have a different mindset? Or was it resolute as well?
You did resolute and self-assured.
Okay. And self-assured. What's another partner that did another scenario that wants to share? Okay, yes. And if you don't mind, I'm going to keep this for 1 moment. Go
We
ahead.
did 6,
Number 6.
and we thought it was composed.
Okay, hang on a moment. Because it's being recorded, I'm going to read this out loud for others. So just a moment, please. So scenario 6 is you spot an error in a colleague's work. You could just fix it yourself, but that might leave them open to making a similar mistake in the future. Your coworker is known to get a little defensive when their errors are pointed out to them. So what was your thoughts?
We thought it was a couple of them, or
Oh, a couple of them, okay.
so composed, empathy, self-assured, and objective.
So that's 4.
Yeah.
Would you start with one and then if it didn't work, go to another one?
Like, I think a concert of all of them.
Oh, a concert of all of them. Okay. Yeah, all right. Great. One more scenario. One more scenario. Yes, please. Which one?
Number 1, if you new workers joined your company a month ago and you occasionally see them passing or sitting together at lunch, you won't necessarily work that closely together, nor are you sure you'll have all that much in common. So we said empathy for understanding others and reaching out to be supportive, because you need to be empathetic to them, because, I mean, you just need to be a human. You know? And then we also said, what was the other one I said? I think I said, receptive is number 1 too. Keeping an open mind and considering other perspectives.
Okay. So this scenario 1, just going to repeat it a few new workers joined your company a month ago and you occasionally see them passing or sitting together at lunch. You won't necessarily work that closely with them, nor are you sure you'll have that much in common. But to stretch your mindset to empathizing, understanding, and reach out to them because they're new, and receptive, even though they might not have a lot in common with you. And we heard about that this morning too, right, by Emily? Like stretch to communities that aren't like you and seek and be curious, right? So you all, I'm leaving you with, perfect timing, 2 minutes. I'm leaving you with this handout that, again, I didn't have enough copies for everyone, but It should be in the Whova app, and if not, give me some feedback and I'll talk to the conference volunteers. But I want you to read through the other scenarios and see what you could stretch your own mindset out of your comfort zone, maybe how you would apply it to your own team. And at the beginning, I did promise you a personal assessment to see where you are in emotional intelligence on the DISC model. And this assessment does have some 3 things that you could do for action items for yourself on how you can show up better on teams. So with that, I appreciate you all. If you would like to have those assessments, I actually stapled one for you and one from your boss. One for you, one for your spouse or partner, best friend. I'm telling you, it works both ways. So 2 each, you can pick it up on either door or here. And my business card. I am always in your corner. What do you want? Oh, sorry, code. Thank you. One more thing, take a picture of this or something.
For the entire day will be uploaded at the end of the day, so they'll be.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so this is the code for this course, so you get credit.